Hey gang, I hope you guys had a really awesome Labor Day weekend, and well, it's a brand new month, and well, let's see what happens weather-wise and all sorts of other stuff-wise. Um, I'm wanting to do this rant based on a comment by somebody on YouTube in which we were discussing a wrestler who was in WCW who wrestled under the name of Cobra, and then he was the NWO Sting. His real name's Jeff Farmer. He's retired now. And we got into a discussion about, wrestling and everything like that. And he said that he hasn't watched wrestling, or at least WWE, for a very, very, very long time. Since about around 2001 when WWE bought out ECW and WCW. Apparently, I guess he watches TNA because he mentioned something about how Mr. Anderson can do a really good dead-on Sting impression. So so there you go. But ultimately, he said he doesn't watch WWE because it's garbage wrestling, or it's garbage, in all honesty. And I gotta say honestly, I don't take offense to this. I think that if the WWE was really trying to listen to its fans, they would really try to basically sit there and hear the fans when they say, "Enough John Cena being in the main event of every pay-per-view, every Raw, everything like that. Stop pushing these guys that don't need to be pushed. We get bored with that Rusev guy. I mean, I've never watched. The only match I ever saw him wrestle in was the Royal Rumble from earlier this year, and he didn't really impress me. I mean, his strength impressed me pretty good, but basically they're turning this guy into sort of like what Vladimir Kozlov was a few years ago, and I'm afraid he's going to wind up going the same route. Vladimir Kozlov was this big Russian dude, supposed to be sort of a shoot fighter, an unstoppable monster, and the WWE basically sent that guy out there to do matches to squash other wrestlers like Jimmy Wang Yang, mostly jobbers, pretty much anybody who he could just go out there and they can make him look good. He ran undefeated for almost a year, got a couple of WWE title shots, didn't get them, and then they team him up with Santino Marella and turn him into a joke. So basically, that's where I think this whole Rusev thing's going to go. The problem, but where I'm getting at on that is that the problem is that WWE doesn't seem to know when to stop with the same old storylines, the same old recycled storylines, the same old recycled gimmicks. It's like it's been done. If you look really closely, most of the gimmicks in WWE were ones that were done 10, 12 years ago. So the Bray Wyatt gimmick, I honestly totally thought it was like, well, this bad boy is just brilliant. It's awesome. But then somebody pointed out they did this gimmick already. Remember Waylon Mercy? That's kind of like what Bray Wyatt's gimmick's supposed to be sort of like. It's supposed to be sort of a cult leader, but it's supposed to be sort of like Waylon Mercy. And I thought, oh, man, they recycled that one. Remember Simon Dean from a few years ago? Skip of the Body Donnas. Bo Dallas, sort of like supposed to be like what DDP was years ago. It's supposed to be Mr. Positive, and you have to believe in yourself and all this other crap. Now they got this group going with Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E Langston, and everybody's already pretty much saying it's going to be the next Nation of Domination. You see, WWE obviously does not learn that if a gimmick worked then, it's not going to work nowadays, because there are people who are still around who remember gimmicks from years and years and years and years ago. And some of them worked fine back then, but you try and recycle it and do it again for nowadays, and it's just basically same old crap. So, and WWE doing their whole, anti-bullying campaign and all this other crap, and yet there are people backstage that are being treated like garbage, and there are people that are basically being talked about in a bad way and all this other stuff, you know. And, you know, WWE's, you know, gained a lot of headlines last year when one of their wrestlers admitted he was gay, and that got WWE media attention through the freaking roof. Nowadays, it's a passive thing, you know. It's like, he's gay, we got media attention. Well, that was fun for about a few days. WWE, I have not watched any WWE programming since February, since my beautiful wife Sarah and I were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I watched Raw. And even when I was watching Raw, I sat there and go, same old crap. They were trying to get everything ready for WrestleMania, and I didn't even feel like even WrestleMania was worth getting that year. You know, to me, it was just, it was another boring episode. And I do read the Raw results every Monday night, past 10 o'clock, because, you know, we're in the central time zone around here. And everything I read, you got 3 hours of wrestling. And this past Monday, there were 8 matches on a 3-hour Raw, in which most of those matches lasted probably about 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And most of the stuff on Raw was like backstage segments, in-the-ring crap, and all that. You see, the thing is with WWE is, just because you're given 3 hours of wrestling, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. But we don't need to see squash matches. We don't need to see matches that we've already seen on pay-per-view or 14, 20, 30 times before. And we definitely don't need to be seeing John Cena in the main freaking event again and again and again. So I read about what happened this past Monday, and I gotta say, honestly, I was embarrassed. I was glad I didn't see it, but I was very well embarrassed. So folks, here's the deal. When it comes to WWE, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's the simple fact right there. Don't watch it. You know, there's no point sitting around complaining about how WWE is not listening to their fans and they're not doing anything that they should be doing to please us. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and they don't care. They're a multi-billion-dollar company that makes money off giving us same old storylines, same old gimmicks, same old crap. So no matter what we say, it's not going to do any good because they don't care. Basically, to them, it's their world, and we're living in it. And folks, you want to watch WWE and continue to support them? Fine. But if you want to criticize them, you're not really helping out. You're not really helping matters much. And if you want to sit there and you want to talk about TNA's doing what WWE used to do, well, yeah, maybe they are. Maybe some of their gimmicks and storylines were WWE ripoffs. But at least TNA can kind of sort of make it work. But only for a brief time. But I've already done a rant on TNA, and this is all about WWE. So basically, gang, bottom line is pretty much this. WWE is not going to change its ways. They're going to give you the same old crap they always have for the past 20, 30 something years. Whether you like it or not, they don't care. They're going to keep doing whatever they want to do, and they're going to keep growing as a company and keep making money and keep shoving stuff down your throats, whether you like it or not. So no matter what we say, no matter what we do, it's not going to matter. WWE is going to continue to grow and do whatever it wants to. Why? Because like I said, it's their world. We're living in it. So do what I do. Just space them out. Just be pretty much done with them. Don't have anything to do with them. If you don't like what you see, change the channel and watch something else. Because WWE, I can take an episode of a certain show for so long before eventually I start sitting there going like, this is the same crap I saw 6 months ago. So, you know. So basically, there it is, folks. My little rant about the WWE. However you feel about it, put it in the comments below. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. But whatever your feelings are on the WWE, positive, negative, or both, let me know. I'll see you guys later. Be good, stay strong, and rock on.